Okay, so it seems like the audio should be pretty regulated now. I don't even know if what I just recorded was good, so I'm just gonna start fresh. It's not a prime or anything, it's just a regular, one of the cheaper zoom lenses. Normally, I record everything on this side of the wall. I haven't been too happy with the lighting in my video. I personally think there's like something missing to it. So what I'm gonna do is move the table from here to this side of the room so that I can put a green screen behind it. And then there's an outlet back here that will allow me to plug in lights. And then there's an extension cord that comes around on this side. So this is gonna allow me to do lighting on both sides in a 180 degree. So I can adjust it as I need to. So 2 lights this way or a quarter light this way, a light on the side, whatever I need to do, but I'm hoping that'll be more versatile. Oh yeah, and so for the next video that I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna try to use a green screen, although I don't know if a green screen is going to work simply because the next video that I'm doing is going to be a Christmas themed video, which will include a small green tree. So there's a green screen and a green tree. That green tree will get pulled out when I remove that green screen.
Now listen, that's called mother bars. You know nothing about that.
For now, I'm just letting it sit there as a placeholder, but I think I will add a blue screen that I can maybe just easily swap out once everything is set up. And hopefully we're caught up now that the audio is fixed. So I do have this little desk arm that I can use for setting up the camera so that's over the shot or over the table to look down and get some overhead shots. I realized that, I don't know if it's the table that's flimsy or maybe the arm or maybe just the camera's too heavy, but it like dips down and then it wiggles around a bit. So what I actually ended up doing now is getting a C-stand. So the idea is potentially having a C-stand maybe right in front of the table, and it'll just be overhead with some sandbags. And then this could just be used as like a place to mount like a little accent light, and it could be either or, this way. So as I said earlier, it could be tripod here, recording downward, sideways, inward. I do want to add something over this. I don't know, what would you call it? Like some type of covering to get rid of this weird crack so you can center things right in the middle. C-stand will go above. That reminds me, maybe I can start setting up the C-stand. Now, from my understanding, C-stand should be relatively easy to set up, but we'll see. This is the first time I'm going to attempt to do so. Wish me luck. Okay, it took me a while to figure out. I don't know how. They just kind of opened up on their own. I don't know how to collapse the legs now. That can probably wait. Then is this probably. At least I know how to do this part right. From this point, you just load your rod in here. I'm assuming it's just as simple as that. Could be wrong, but I'm doubting myself at this point now. And so I think the camera could just hang up here. Obviously, this is kind of heavy set, which I know I read somewhere that you do need sandbags, which I did end up getting. And I did not know that when you buy sandbags, you don't get sand with them. And so I did order sand, and I ordered a little bit too much, I believe. These are the sandbags that I bought. I didn't realize actually that this C-stand came with bags of their own, which I believe this is what it is. Yeah, it already came with its own sandbags. But this one's kind of cool because it gives you like these little clear bags, which I can probably use to stuff in here. I apologize to my mailman or UPS driver, whoever was in charge of bringing this in. This thing is heavy. But I picked up some play sand. Definitely gonna need a vacuum after this. 50 pounds, baby. This looks like it could be enough. My natural instinct is to fill it in all the way, but that might be incorrect. Oh, hey, this is a nicer way of pouring, actually. I'm gonna fill this one just a tad bit more, just because I'm feeling a little bit ballsy. Looks the same to me, actually. I lied. But I mean, this already feels pretty heavy enough, so it might be good enough. I'm gonna set one up. I feel like one might be enough. Oh, that is definitely not enough. Whoa. Made a mess. Ah, come on. Boom. I've become a pro. And from my understanding, you're just supposed to put it on the biggest leg of the C-stand to make sure it doesn't topple over when you put something heavy here. I saw that it came with clips, so I'm assuming you can probably clip these, maybe put them on these. I'm not sure. I know you can give it a counterbalance by putting it on the very end of the stick too, but we can experiment with actually setting up a camera, see if it can handle the weight. Okay, and this is what we're gonna be working with. We went to Dollar Tree, got ourselves a couple of ornaments, a tree. That's gonna be for the gift, the little mini gifts, and then of course. So the idea is basically setting a bunch of these down, setting the tree, setting up the decorations for it, do the actual wrapping video, and then at the end show like a little placing the gifts down and then just making it look very Christmassy. That's the beauty of movie magic, is that things don't have to appear as they truly do. So now, because we're only going to take a shot of it forwards. Hey, if can add glue and motor oil to their pancakes and syrup, then we can do this, right? We're going to set this up now. So the idea is what? Putting 2 to 4?
Should we just do 3? Stack 2? Oops.
Something like that. Guys, do not go to the TikTok shop and get this new microphone. It's the Rode Wireless Go 1. Do not do it if you want video quality audio like this. Am I right?
Yes.
This is Mysteria. She's Mysteria. She looks so awkward to the camera. We'll be shooting this on the Sony FX30, and I'll be using the Suri 23mm sniper focus. And that's gonna come up here on the C-stand. So this is the final setup. I have my Zhiyun softbox with an Amaran 200X, a C-stand, holding the Sony FX30, running a long ass HDMI cable to a Viltrox screen where we're seeing this in real time. And then we're using a small RGB 20-watt light, powering the screen with a small rig, and then my beautiful girlfriend doing all the hard work. Doing all the hard work while I just sit in the back and relax. While filming, this light died, and so luckily Anker came to the rescue, and I've wired a power bank to keep it going. And it's simultaneously, I believe it's simultaneously charging and running the light. I think, yeah. Then we got the final product here. So this is what we ended up with. The light, a secondary, third light actually. The tree, we found a blue screen. Everything's being charged by that. We're shooting the head-on shot with the Sony FX30, Tilta, matte box, quarter mist filter, ND filter. And that is the final shot. All right, so the video is cut, it's edited, it's ready to go, but I wanted to experiment with audio. I feel like audio is like 50% of the video, maybe like 80. I guess it makes it or breaks it. I'm a firm believer that if you have a really nice looking video, but have terrible audio quality, that no one's gonna stick around, no one's gonna watch it, and it's not as enticing or interesting to watch. I feel like for most of the videos that I've done for this social media account, I have done all videos with no noise, just straight up music. And I want to experiment and try something new where I mess with audio and a little bit of audio engineering. I actually don't even know what you would call it, audio engineering, audio magic. And so I've actually made a list of some of the things, I don't know, that would just enhance the video overall. Cutting tape, placing the tape, finger tapping. I saw there was a scene with like finger tapping, boxes shaking, touching, placing bows, etc. So I made a little list of my cuts. For this particular portion of the video, I'm going to be using the Zoom F3 audio recorder, where I'm just going to get close-up sounds of all the things that I've essentially listed down here. And that's it. I think that should be all the sounds that I can use for the video. So let's jump back to the editing. There is no edit. Let's cut to the final product. I'm going to keep it short because I am running out of battery on everything and this thing overheats. And I'm going to keep it a secret as to what camera I'm using because I have that planned for a future video where I'm going to make a point. I am back, post-production Paulino, to give you some final thoughts on the overall video process and just video in general. One of the talking points that I have, and I have it off to the side right here, is the C-stand. The C-stand greatly came in handy. There was no longer any weird jitters or bounciness that I would get from the desk arm. Overall, great purchase, great investment. And I do feel like an idiot for not knowing how to set it up. I spent probably about 20 minutes trying to, I think, just open the legs up on its own, and I just could not do it. It took a couple of videos and tutorials, and I finally got to it, but I had to cut it out the video. I was just too embarrassed to show you guys. Second thing that I did like from this was the table placement. It did allow for multi-point lighting. I loved it. I was able to get some really good lighting, even though I think in some of the shots, or at least in the beginning shots, some of the bottom corner, like floor blanket, was a little bit overexposed. But besides that, I think all that needs really is more diffusion, or maybe something to bounce the light off to soften it a bit more. But not bad. I really like the placement. It's very versatile. And then I also learned that I need to charge all my batteries, at least all my lights. None of the lights that I was going for were charged, and those that I did have that were available used external batteries, and they were just way too bright, which again goes back to diffusion. Another thing that really helped out in this was an external monitor. In my last shoot, I didn't have an external monitor, and that thing was very crucial to getting sharp footage, a sharp shot, an in-focus shot, should I say. The screen on the FX30 is very tiny, and especially if it's really high up, far from reach. I did need something to monitor or look at my shot, and the external monitor really did come in handy. I was able to get a nice in-focus shot, and I had no doubts whether it was or wasn't. And it probably also did help the fact that I had an autofocus lens. And I know I said I was sort of against them sometimes, but in this case, it did really help to have an autofocus lens up high and then having an external monitor running down so that I could frame my shot better. And as you just saw, I did end up recording Foley. I don't think it really enhanced the video, but I think it's something that it's going to help out in the future, and I think it's just worth making a good habit of doing. So although I don't think it enhanced the video, I do think it's good to keep practicing and just make it a habit overall, just because it will come in handy in the future. And finally, the green screen. I thought I knew how to light a green screen properly. I obviously didn't. I swapped between a couple of lights, trying to get the lighting and the shadows to, disperse a little bit and soften, and I just could not get it to work. And even though I did get something that was sort of manageable or worth using, the end product was just terrible. It looked so bad. It looked like a cheap early 90s, like broadcast television from a basement type thing. It wasn't good. Luckily for me, I was able to reshoot that green screen shot. I just tore down the green screen and I just used the white background. I figured, you know what, it works because it's like Christmas themed. So like a white background, tree, and then like the floor or the blanket of snow. So that's like one of the few cases where not having a background really did come in handy. Overall, the shoot was a mix between headache and fun. It was a headache because things didn't go as smoothly as I was expecting them to. Things still go wrong. Things don't always go your way. And it was a little bit frustrating. But the fact that I was able to recover from it and make it work somehow and do reshoots, and I don't know, like the problem solving aspect was pretty fun in the end, and it was worth it. And the product that came out from it, I think, was good. And could it be better? Yes, it probably could be better. But that's where this learning process comes into handy. And that's the whole point of this, is me learning from scratch, learning on my own. And at the end of the day, it's all about practice. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get as close as I can to some form of production so that I can learn something. And instead of waiting around trying to say, you know, I'm not ready until I get this piece of gear, until I get this kind of knowledge, you know, I'm just putting it into practice. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, go back to the drawing board and learn some more. Yeah, that should be it. I'm done rambling just because this camera is going to heat up probably. And I'll reveal what camera this is just because I'm recording this in a way where I'm going to make a separate video to prove a point or make a point, something. I don't know, but we'll see when we get there. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you again next time.